Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 12th episode of Bridging the Badge. I'll be your host today. I'm Officer Pagan, and joined today, we have our Deputy Chief, Eric Burenda. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing great. Thank you, Officer Pagan.
All right, guys. So today's topic of discussion is going to be Operation Not in Vain. So, Deputy Chief, tell us a little bit about Operation Not in Vain.
Operation Not in Vain is a collaborative effort between several local, state, and federal entities that have come together in an effort to take back our city. We realized that the data has shown that crime, specifically violent crime in Las Cruces, is at an all-time high. In addition to that, we also have property crime that is plaguing our city, specifically felony theft and also misdemeanor shoplifting. And for those reasons, we combined with several other agencies and entities in an effort to work together to take back our city. We're doing so by forming several groups throughout several days throughout the operation, which began in August and will continue all the way through October. At least we're hoping to extend it at least maybe to the first couple of weeks of November. But basically, the operations plan sets forth in motion different teams that are addressing different areas that are being affected throughout the city. Specifically, our hotspot areas that are plagued with higher crime, whether it be violent or property crime in other areas within the city, but also addressing several different components. For instance, addressing speeding complaints, addressing areas that are being plagued with quality of life issues, also addressing individuals that are outstanding within the city that have either misdemeanor or more specifically violent outstanding warrants that need to be served. We're also, of course, out there trying to apprehend or at least make more contact with individuals that are frequent offenders to see how we can ensure that if there's services we can provide to them, or if the pattern of criminal activity continues, take enforcement action.
Yes, sir. And then you mentioned it's a multiple agency project. What agencies are involved in this project?
Oh, I wish I had the entire list in front of me, but what you see right there in front of you is just the bigger agencies that are involved. It's not all inclusive. Since the operation did start, there have been some of the agencies and task force that have joined us to help us. But as you can see in front of you, the primary agencies that are helping us out is New Mexico State Police, as well as the U.S. Marshals. We have the U.S. Attorney's Office that's involved, as well as the 3rd Judicial District Attorney's Office. Homeland Security, DEA is assisting us with this. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is assisting us with this. Our metro agency, our local metro agency, which is a combination of agents from state police, the Sheriff's Department, and LCPD, as well as FBI and FBI.
So it's a whole lot of agencies coming together for one goal.
Yeah, one goal to take back our city.
Yes, sir. And so what are some notable results you've had for the month of August with the project?
So we're actually getting results updated weekly, and the results have been outstanding. It starts off with some results from last week, about 7-8 days ago. The results included about 144 positive contacts with businesses and well over 200 positive contacts with residents. So not only are we out there being a deterrent, but we're also out there making contact with several businesses and residents in an effort to get their intel, ask them what exactly is happening, what problems are they seeing in their areas, and how we can help them and work together to reduce those problems. In addition to that, we have over 300 traffic citations that have been issued. We have 12 recovered stolen vehicles. We have at least 9 recovered firearms. I believe the recent update, we have at least 2 more to add to that. We have 38 criminal citations, about 50 misdemeanor arrests, over 70 felony arrests. And when it comes to drugs, we have at almost 2,000 fentanyl pills that have been seized through this operation, as well as over 50 pounds of that.
Wow, very good. And I've personally worked the project too, and I can go ahead and vouch for it that it is having a positive impact on the community. Now, when you make the contacts with the businesses, how do we go ahead and approach the contacts for the businesses?
How do we approach? So basically, when we start the operation, depending on what hours we're working the operations, the officers are set up in different teams addressing the areas that I've specified already. Basically, we have a group of officers that will go out there and make contact with businesses that are open during that operations. We identify ourselves, the agency we're working for, and we let them know that we're out here trying to make a difference. We actually, on some of these locations, we even share a phone number with them that is active during that time,
Okay.
so that if there's any specific non-emergency crimes that are occurring or suspicious activity or criminal activity, they can give that number a call, and the supervisor working the operation will immediately dispatch officers to that location. But again, that number is only effective and during those operations of the project itself. Other than that, we recommend people, businesses, and residents to contact either the non-emergency number or the 911 if it's an emergency.
Very good. So Deputy Chief, here are some questions that we have outlined. So the first one is, what overall impact have you seen from the operation? Where did the operation come from? And was it based on research? And have similar things worked in other cities?
Actually, I can't tell you exactly where it originated from, at least not one specific person. What I do know is a lot of the department heads, specifically, of course, for us, Chief Story, as well as department heads within the area from New Mexico State Police and U.S. Marshals, have gone together, and myself included, as well as Deputy Chief Mullen, basically have gone together. And again, we need to address the problem. All these several entities that are helping us out have realized that the city is possibly not in the best situation where we should be. I know our goal is to reduce crime and improve the quality of life for our residents, and this is just all those entities together saying enough is enough. Instead of working individually, what can we do together in a more collaborative effort to reduce that crime and take back our city?
Yes, sir. Now, what overall impact have you seen from Operation Not in Vain?
Oh, the impact on my side, at least, has been amazing. I've gotten the opportunity to see our officers and all of these numerous agencies and entities working together out there on the streets. We made it a point that all of our administration, to include Chief Story, Deputy Chief Mullen, our lieutenants, down all the way to the line level officers that have been out there constantly, numerous times, taking enforcement action, being a deterrent, making positive contact with the public. So the numbers speak for themselves, that we just showed them earlier, and we're hoping that they continue to be as they are, and our presence alone, even if the numbers don't increase significantly higher, that our presence will deter that crime and again, take back our city.
And then just reduce crime, as we say. And DC, can we expect this project to continue long-term, or any plans for it going beyond October?
Oh, absolutely. Now, for LCPD specific, it's difficult to coordinate this type of mass effort with so many agencies involved. So we understand that the funding may not be available to continue on forever. However, we've made adjustments in our schedules and our patrol roster schedules, the specialties section schedules, so that we can ensure that we have the majority of our officers working out there when data shows that crime is more prevalent, when it's becoming an issue. So absolutely, we're working on it so that we can work as an agency within LCPD to continue our efforts permanently.
Yeah, and I look forward to that, honestly. So Deputy Chief, how can residents and local businesses get involved in the operation, and what engagement activities are planned for them?
Oh, I've mentioned this before in the past in community meetings that I've participated in, but we're only 183 strong with LCPD, meaning we only have 183 commissioned officers with LCPD. And even then, when we talk about how many patrol officers are out there on the streets on a daily basis, that can range from as little as 12 officers or as much as 20 officers, 25 officers when shifts overlap. However, we have over 100,000 citizens out here, amazing citizens within the city of Las Cruces. And that means we have 200,000 pairs of eyes, 200,000 pairs of ears out there that can help us. So the community, the way you can help us is being our eyes and ears out there on the streets, continuing to call us when you see suspicious activity, criminal activity at foot, reporting crimes when they occur, because it helps us gather the most accurate data so that we can focus our efforts on those areas while still maintaining our patrols throughout the city as well. So we need them out there on the streets.
So please, community involvement and them contacting Central Dispatch if they see anything?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Deputy Chief, how will updates and results from Operation Not in Vain be communicated to the public?
Similar to what we've been doing so far, bridging the batch like we're doing right now. Chief Story did present this, as well as myself, 2 weeks ago at the recent town hall meeting. And there is a plans in action for Chief Story and perhaps some of the agency heads from the other entities involved to come together and give out an overall results of the amazing efforts by not just our officers within LCPD, but also all agents throughout, all officers and agents with all the other agencies.
Yes, sir. And how will the police department gather feedback from the community on the effectiveness of this operation?
As I mentioned earlier, our administration, our supervisors from lieutenants, sergeants, and again, down to the bottom on the officers out on the streets, putting in the hardest work. We've received feedback daily. Every single time we work, it's amazing to go out there, be out there, listening to the positive feedback. The businesses are loving us. Every time I personally have made contact, they're giving us amazing feedback. They're telling us that we're welcome there. Thank you for being out there, and they appreciate our efforts. How the community that we haven't made contact on a daily basis, provide us feedback, let us know. You can either do so by logging online to lcpd.com. There's a specific portion on there where you can go through the community outreach, where there might be some QR codes so you can provide feedback in that manner. In addition to that, our community outreach section is constantly out there doing community events, and they're welcome to accept any feedback in regards to Operation Night of Faith.
Yes, sir. And then with the positive feedback from the community that we're receiving, what positive comments have they made regarding the project and our policing efforts?
That they're seeing us. That's one of the things I love the most, that they're seeing us. A lot of the businesses specifically have seen problems with individuals trespassing or shoplifting. Like I mentioned earlier, one of them are property crime overall in Las Cruces compared to the previous year is down. However, our felony theft and our shoplifting theft is significantly higher than it's been in the past. And these businesses are seeing us out there, and they're really appreciative, but basically telling us we see a lot more officers out there, and we're seeing the reduction in those, at least during the time of operations and in general, actually overall.
So just being a presence there is just helping deter the crime from those businesses that we're having trouble with.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So Deputy Chief, so those are all the questions we had. Now we're going to go ahead and take some questions from our viewers that they posted. So we'll go ahead and see what the community is asking us.
Okay.
So logistically, getting all these agencies coordinated together, Chief, how hard was it?
It's the desire, it's there, and the desire is there by all the agencies that you saw out there. It becomes difficult when we're trying to coordinate everybody to be out there at one time. The good thing about Operation Not in Vain is that there are days where all the agencies involved come together and we go out there and we address the entire city with all the teams together as a group. But because it's understandable that it's difficult to get that many agencies to do that every single day or throughout the entire project, every agency will coordinate smaller groups and teams at very specific hours to address the same goal that we have with Operation Night of Vain.
And what days can we go ahead and see those teams being during the week? What time are they together?
Oh, they're all over the place. They're all over the place. Basically, we go based on what our intel tells us. So if our intel tells us that the majority of crime for the past 6 months is occurring between, this is hypothetically without giving specifics, if they say the crime is occurring between 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's shoplifting specific, or it's potentially violent crime in a certain area within the city, that's when you'll see the teams out there.
Okay.
You can't give all information out there, Officer, but hey, we got to keep it that way so that we can do our job best we can.
And I understand that. So, Deputy Chief, we appreciate you coming out and answering questions about Operation Not in Vain. So please stay tuned for the next episode of Bridging the Badge on October 15th. And thank you so much. I was your host, Officer Pagan. And thank you so much, Deputy Chief, for coming out. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. And thank you all out there for listening and providing the questions. We appreciate it.